In today's fast-paced, noisy world, most of us wrestle with the same inner storm. We wake up already anxious, minds racing with endless what-ifs. We scroll through constant notifications, juggle overwhelming responsibilities, worry about what others think of us, and feel pulled in a dozen directions at once. Deadlines loom, relationships strain, uncertainties about the future keep us up at night. We react impulsively instead of responding with clarity. Deep down, many of us feel scattered, powerless, and small in the face of life's chaos. Stress builds, peace slips away, and we struggle to lead our own days with confidence and inner strength. What if the antidote to this constant turbulence isn't forcing ourselves to be louder or busier, but cultivating two quiet yet immensely powerful qualities, calmness and authority, not the aggressive, shouting kind of authority, but the unshakable, centered command that comes from mastering yourself and your craft. Few people in history have embodied this combination as masterfully as Alfred Hitchcock, the legendary filmmaker known as the master of suspense. Let's journey through his life and discover how a fearful boy from London transformed his anxieties into timeless art, and how you can do the same in your own life. Alfred Joseph Hitchcock was born on August 13, 1899, in Leytonstone, a modest suburb of London. He grew up in a strict Catholic family as the youngest of 3 children. His father was a greengrocer with a stern disciplinary style, and his mother was overly protective. Hitchcock often described his childhood as lonely and sheltered. He was overweight, socially awkward, and carried deep-seated fears from a very young age. One incident in particular haunted him throughout his life. When he was only about 5 years old, his father gave him a note and sent him to the local police station. The officer read the note, looked at young Alfred, and locked him in a jail cell for a few minutes, saying, "This is what we do to naughty boys." That brief, terrifying experience planted a lifelong phobia of police and authority figures. Hitchcock later admitted he avoided driving a car for fear of getting a ticket. He also carried a profound fear of enclosed spaces and wrongful accusation, themes that would later dominate his greatest films. His schooling under the Jesuits emphasized discipline, guilt, and moral order. When he was 15, his father died, and the shadows of World War I, with bombs falling near London and the Spanish flu raging, added to the atmosphere of fear and uncertainty. Hitchcock grew up full of anxieties about chaos, punishment, and loss of control. Yet here is where his story becomes truly inspiring. Instead of being defeated by his fears, he chose to confront and master them. He famously said, "I'm full of fears, and I do my best to avoid difficulties and any kind of complications. I like everything around me to be clear as crystal and completely calm." And even more powerfully, the only way to get rid of my fears is to make films about them. He also reflected, "Luck is everything. My good luck in life was to be a really frightened person. I'm fortunate to be a coward, to have a low threshold of fear, because a hero couldn't make a good suspense film." These words reveal a profound truth. Hitchcock didn't eliminate his fears. He transformed them into fuel for his creativity. Hitchcock entered the film industry humbly in the early 1920s. He started as a draftsman designing title cards for silent films, then moved into writing, art direction, and eventually directing. His early British films showed glimmers of his unique style. The Lodger, A Story of the London Fog, 1927, was his first major success, a suspenseful tale of a man wrongly suspected of being a serial killer, clearly drawing from his own childhood fears. He pioneered techniques in British cinema, directing one of the first sound films, Blackmail, 1929. But real international fame came when he moved to Hollywood in 1939. There he faced new challenges: the demanding studio system, skeptical executives, cultural adjustments, and the pressure to deliver hits. Yet he adapted and thrived. Over a career spanning 6 decades, Hitchcock directed more than 50 feature films. His masterpieces include Rebecca, 1940, which won the Academy Award for Best Picture, Suspicion, Rear Window, Vertigo, North by Northwest, Psycho 1960, and The Birds 1963. His films earned a staggering 46 Academy Award nominations, though he himself was nominated 5 times for Best Director without winning, a fact that never derailed him. He also became a television star with the hugely popular series Alfred Hitchcock Presents, where his dry wit, distinctive silhouette, and iconic cameo appearances in his own movies made him a household name worldwide. Even what some called failures during his time often became financial successes and later critical classics. What set Hitchcock apart wasn't raw talent alone, it was his deliberate philosophy and disciplined approach to life and work. He prized calmness above almost everything. He avoided unnecessary chaos and insisted on order and clarity in every production. On set, he was legendary for his meticulous preparation. He would storyboard every scene in advance, visualizing the entire film down to the final cut. This level of planning gave him a profound sense of control and calm authority. He explained his philosophy of suspense with brilliant clarity. There is no terror in the bang, only in the anticipation of it. He drew a sharp distinction between surprise, a sudden shock, like a bomb exploding without warning, and suspense, when the audience knows the bomb is under the table while the characters talk innocently above it. By giving the audience more information than the characters, he built unbearable tension while remaining completely calm and in command himself. He often said he played the audience like a piano. Another favorite quote captures his approach: always make the audience suffer as much as possible. Not out of cruelty, but because he understood that stretched-out emotional tension creates deeper impact than quick shocks. He also noted, drama is life with the dull bits cut out. And on the role of the director, in feature films, the director is God. Hitchcock depended on style more than plot. He believed, it is how you do it, and not your content, that makes you an artist. He could take ordinary situations, a shower, a quiet cornfield with a crop duster, or birds gathering in the sky, and turn them into sources of profound dread through masterful control of packing, camera angles, lighting, editing, and the careful release of information. He faced personal challenges throughout his life. His weight, complex relationships with actors, notably his obsession with certain leading ladies, occasional battles with studios, and health issues later in life. Yet he maintained a composed, witty public persona. His precise English demeanor and dry humor projected quiet, unshakable power. Even after receiving high honors, including the American Film Institute Life Achievement Award in 1979 and being knighted as Sir Alfred Hitchcock, he remained dedicated to his vision until his death in 1980. His influence on cinema, storytelling, and the psychology of fear continues to shape filmmakers and audiences today. So what practical lessons can we draw from Hitchcock's life for our own daily struggles? First, embrace clarity and order. Like Hitchcock, make your environment and your goals clear as crystal. Cut through the noise of modern life. Define what you truly want and create structured plans to get there. Preparation reduces panic and builds natural confidence. Second, channel your fears instead of running from them. Hitchcock turned his deepest anxieties, fear of police, wrongful accusation, chaos, and loss of control, into his greatest artistic strengths. Ask yourself, what scares you most right now? How can you face it directly and transform it into purposeful action? Third, cultivate calm authority through mastery. Deep competence in your craft, whether that's your job, your relationships, your health, or your personal projects, breeds quiet power. When you know your material inside out, you can respond instead of react. You lead with steady presence rather than frantic energy. Fourth, understand the power of anticipation. In life, as in Hitchcock's films, the greatest tension and growth often come not from sudden shocks, but from patiently building toward meaningful outcomes. Learn to sit with discomfort. Stretch your own capacity for patience and focus. Fifth, direct your own life. Remember, in your story, you are the director. You may not control every external event, but you control how you frame it, how you pace it, and how you respond to it. Cut out the dull bits of distraction and unnecessary drama. Focus on creating something meaningful. Hitchcock showed the world that a lonely, fearful boy burdened by phobias could become one of the most influential artists in history. He didn't wait for fear to disappear. He planned meticulously, stayed centered amid potential chaos, and directed his creations with calm, masterful authority. You have that same power within you. Today, take a slow, deep breath. Feel your feet on the ground. The world may feel chaotic, filled with noise and uncertainty, but you can choose calmness. You can step into your own authority. Face your fears honestly. Prepare with care and precision. Channel anxiety into focused, creative action. Lead your life with quiet confidence. Master your craft, whatever it may be. Play the circumstances of your life like a skilled director plays an audience, not with frantic noise, but with deliberate, beautiful tension that ultimately resolves into strength, clarity, and achievement. You are the director of your story. The suspense, the challenges, the uncertainties, they are all part of the plot, but how the film unfolds is up to you. Stay calm, lead with authority. Create your own masterpiece, one composed and intentional moment at a time. You've got this, the camera is rolling, action.